Then you need a debt elimination plan. Get rid of some of the debt while maintaining bank savings. Okay. Then the fourth, 401k maximum contribution. Again, that's traditional advice. Why would we maximize a contribution? Well, they say, hey, defer as much as you can. It doesn't always make sense. There's not always a whole lot of critical thinking behind that advice. That's
Right?
why I call it the upside down pyramid, right?
Defer, deduct, deduct.
Yeah, and you're in a 10% tax bracket. What's the point? I would say, depending, and here's the thing: is that it's better to get started with something than to not start anything. But there may come a point where you're going to outgrow the 401k. And I don't mean that by your account balance. It depends on your income and your life success trajectory. The 401k will become a hindrance rather than a blessing. So that may happen down the line. But at the beginning, better to have money somewhere than nowhere. But at the same time, put it in the bank first. It starts at the bank. Now, then after that, you maximize your 401k contribution. Then, hey, an IRA or Roth IRA, if your income qualifies, you might even do, they call it the backdoor Roth. They basically say, if you contribute to your IRA and then you turn around and convert it over into a Roth IRA, we call it the backdoor Roth because you make too much to put it in directly, but we could do it in the backdoor. I don't know why they make it so difficult, but fine. Then traditional planning says, go for that permanent life insurance stuff for tax advantage savings so you don't have to pay taxes on the growth every year. The people that mention that and they put it in that order, they don't understand life insurance. They really don't. Life insurance certainly has its place, but not after all of that. I think it's more of a greater foundational product. So let me scroll down here to, we call it the liquidity, use, and control model. So it starts off similarly, bank emergency savings. Still got to have money in the bank. And maybe you probably want to have more money. Now, a lot of this kind of follows the Dave Ramsey, was it the 9 baby steps thing? It's similar, but I'm turning it on its head a little bit. Because I say you should have investment grade life insurance. I should really rename that because I saw that someone else used that term and they got a regulatory injunction. So whatever. But I do mean a maximum funded, minimum death benefit, cash value life insurance policy that you can use and build long-term collateral account that you can borrow against, that you can use on your terms. You can use it without taxes, without penalties. There's a lot of advantages there compared to a 401k. You still want to use that to eliminate debt. In fact, you could use the life insurance to help you eliminate debt. Use the life insurance to borrow out, pay off the other debt, and then you repay your life insurance to rebuild that collateral capacity again. Then you have 401k, but only up to the match, and only if the match makes sense. Well, what do you mean by the match making sense? Well, if you got dollar for dollar up to 8%, that's a good match. Okay. Anybody that tells you not to take advantage of that, well, depends on what you think taxes might be in the future, and which I don't know what to think on that in current times right now because there's all kinds of things being thrown around. But if you think taxes are only going to go up, and even if you love the current administration, I wonder, unless there's a constitutional amendment that's going to control spending, I still think they're going to cut a whole lot of things in the budget, and they're just going to go right into ramping up budgets as soon as another party comes into power. That's my political opinion. That generally makes sense. We'll see. But if you think taxes are going to be much higher and you're going to be retiring in a higher tax bracket, a 401k may not make sense. And so you'd actually want to limit the amount you have in there because of the rules and regulations regarding 401ks, especially when you go into retirement. Start pulling that money out. You want to keep it to around the standard deduction or less so you can maximize that, making the money come out tax-free because the standard deduction lets you have that money without paying taxes. After that, it depends on other income, other sources and such, and it can escalate rather quickly. And even if you think, well, I got 10 million in my 401k, but I just want to pull out 250,000. That might work your first year, but you got these required minimum distributions that require you to take more and more every year. Why?